नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, General History, Chapter 1, The Curse upon the Yadu Dynasty, verse number 13, 14, 15. We will recite 13. Kridantastan upavrajya Kumara Yadunandana Upasangra Paprachur Avinita Vinitavad. Kridantastan upavrajya Kumara Yadunandana Upasangraya Paprachur Avinita Vinitavad. Kridantastan upavrajya Kumara Yadunandana Upasangra Paprachur Avinita Vinitvat. Kridantastan upavrajya Maraya Yadunandana Sangrate Praprachur Avinita Vinitavat. Kridantastan upavrajya Kumara Yadunandana Upasangra Praprachur Avinita Vinitavat. Kridantastan upavrajya Kumara Yadunandana Upasangraya Paprachur Avinita Vinitavat. Matajis. Kridantastan upavrajya Kumara Yadunandana Upasangraya Paprachur Avinita Vinitavat. Kridanta playing, Tan them, the sages, Upavrajya approaching, Kumara the young boys, Yadunandana the sons of the Yadu dynasty, Upasangra taking hold of the sage's feet, Paprachu they asked, Avinita not humble, Vinitava acting as if humble. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Sorry. Translation. To that holy place, the young boys of the Yadu dynasty had brought Sam, son of Jamvati, dressed in woman's garb. Playfully approaching the great sages gathered there, the boys grabbed hold of the sages' feet and impudently asked them with feigned humility, "O learned Brahmanas, this black-eyed pregnant woman has something to ask you. She is too embarrassed to inquire for herself. She is just about to give birth and is very desirous of having a son. Since all of you are great sages with infallible vision, please tell us whether her child will be a boy or a girl." Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has made the following comment. The impudent behavior of the young Yadus toward the sages headed by Narada, who were all Brahmanas and devotees of the Lord, was a display of deviation from the path of Lord Krishna. Similarly, although the Prakat Sahajiyas think of themselves as intimate associates of Krishna, the supremely merciful Lord's determination is perfectly correct in working to finish such false devotees. Such impostors actually never accept real service to Krishna. The Yadu Kumara's deception is termed seemingly humble, meaning that in fact they were anything but humble. Therefore, the ridiculing of Vaishnavas by the Lord's family resulted in a great offense against the devotees of the Lord. A similar incident occurred during the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when his own mother offended Sri Advait Acharya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally rectified this offense against a great Vaishnav, and thus the Lord showed his magnanimity. Lord Krishna's pastime of destroying the Yadu dynasty is also a demonstration of his mercy to his devotees. Believing the Brahmanas, Vaishnavas and Rishis to be foolishly lacking knowledge in material affairs of sense gratification, the Yadu Kumaras dressed Sam, the son of Jamvati, as a woman and tried to mock the saintly assembly. Lord Krishna wanted to teach that such an offense committed against great devotees by his associate Sam would be the cause of the Yadu dynasty's destruction, all as part of his Leela. In modern times, such misbehavior has also manifested itself within the Gaudiya Vaishnava community. Unauthorized persons have initiated the process of deceitfully bestowing a woman's dress on their followers. This process is to be counted as a variety of aparadh or offense against Krishna. Such an attempt to cheapen and ridicule devotional service to Krishna is certainly caused by envy toward the real Vaishnavas, who are faithfully engaged in devotional service according to the rules and regulations of the Vedic literature. Thus Rupa Goswami has said, Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Di, Pancharatra, Vidhim Vina, Aikantiki, Harer, Bhaktir, Utpatayaiva Kalpate. If one wants to demonstrate his great devotion to the Supreme Lord, but his process of devotional service violates the standard rules of revealed scriptures such as Shruti, Smriti, Puranas and Narad Pancharatra, then his alleged love of Godhead will simply disturb society by misleading people from the auspicious path of spiritual advancement. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-2-101. The taking of a woman's clothing by a man in Krishna Leela was intended to point out this fact. Such an act amounts to cheating and ridicule of the devotees of Krishna. Samb is a personal associate of the Lord, but acting as a harbinger of the future misfortune to be created in Kali Yuga by bogus followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sam displayed this didactic pastime to help the living entities be blessed on the correct path of devotional service. The boy said to the sages, O Rishi, O Brahmanas, O Narada, and other great personalities, can you tell us whether it will be a son or a daughter that will be born from this pregnant woman's womb? By addressing pure Vaishnavas in this way, they anticipated the fraudulent sampradayas of the modern age in their practice of Sakhi Bheka, or dressing men as female associates of the gopis. This unauthorized activity constitutes contempt and mockery of the pure devotees of the Lord. Many false yogis, imagining they are distributing first-class devotion on the liberated platform, attempt to award the status of pure devotee to candidates totally ignorant of the transcendental taste of Madhur Rati, or the Lord's conjugal love in the spiritual world. Even though they know that the general populace is unfit to imitate the liberated associates of the Lord, they artificially decorate ordinary persons with the ornaments of spiritual perfection, such as tears, a melted heart, and the standing on end of the bodily hairs. Thus, these bogus yogis introduce a process that misleads the world. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood that the great misfortune caused by such false yogis or ku-yogis was impossible to forestall in the Kali Yuga, he infected them with insane desires for material objects of lust, so that ordinary persons can easily identify such false yogis as deviated from the path of pure devotional service. The mockery of the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas by the young boys of the Yadu dynasty who dress Samb in woman's garb, and the resultant destruction of the Yadu dynasty conclusively demonstrate the uselessness of the Sahajiya Sampradayas. Srila Jiva Goswami has confirmed that the lack of humility shown by the sons of the Yadu dynasty was an arrangement by the Lord Himself. In other words, the members of the Yadu dynasty are ultimately associates of Lord Krishna, and to facilitate the instructive pastimes of the Lord, they acted in apparently unethical ways. Om Agyan Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चाक्षु उन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम राम राम। हरे कृष्णा। So Parikshit Maharaj, being surprised, he asked Shukadeva Goswami several questions in this chapter, including that how come the great Vaishnavas, Narad Muni, Durvasa Muni, Vishwamitra, and so many others, how come they cursed the Yadu Vansh? The Yadu Vansh and the sons of the Yadu personalities, they all are great devotees, great associates of Dwarkadish Krishna. How can somebody curse them? How can somebody be so powerful to curse them? And how can they do offense to receive a curse? This is surprising, unexpected. And then he asks, how come the Yadus fought among themselves when they have equal goal of life, when they have same purpose of life, and when they are all pure devotees? Fighting or quarrel means within the three modes of material nature. But they are all transcendental, having no personal ambition, just want to please Krishna, associates of Krishna. How did they fight? And it's not a small fight, they killed each other. That is a big event of violence. Even two practitioner devotees, if they fight, it will be considered surprising. Public will say, you are two sadhus, how can you fight? How can you have anger? What to speak about violence, beating? And what to speak about using weapons? And what to speak about killing? That is not expected. And these are not practitioner devotees, these are siddhas, associates of Dwarkadish Krishna, sons and brothers. And they fought and they killed each other. In fact, they attacked Krishna Balram also. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking this question, how this is possible? So Shukadeva Goswami starts setting the scene. saying that all these great sages and Rishi Munis headed by Narad Muni, they wanted to do some rituals which will benefit the whole world, not just for themselves, for the whole world. This is how the process of dharma works. When we do a dharmic activity, it benefits not just me, it benefits the whole world. When we chant Hare Krishna, it may look like I am chanting and I am hearing, sitting in one corner of the room. But actually whole Mumbai is getting benefit. Whole earth planet is getting benefit. Whole universe is getting benefit. Because chanting is pleasing to Krishna. If you put water on the root of a tree, it will look like the root is getting benefit. The topmost leaf, which may be 15-20 feet away from the root, is not getting water. It may look like that, but that leaf is also getting benefit. In the same way, when we chant Hare Krishna, when we read Bhagavatam, or when we do Aarti to Radha Raj Bihari, or when we decorate the deities, whole world is getting benefit because we are worshipping the root of the universe. So some ignorant atheist people say that what is the use of worshipping the deities? Same money if you use to feed poor people, that will be better. Or what is use of feeding cows? Same money if you use to help economically weak section of the society, that is better contribution. All foolish people. They don't understand the only way to help the society is to worship Krishna and connect people to Krishna. Distribute prasad, distribute books, and distribute holy name. And same people who make argument, why don't we tell them what is the use of purchasing 1,000 rupee ticket and going to a movie theater for 3 hours? Why don't save money we feed poor people? Why don't we stop all the movie theaters, close them down, and feed poor people with that money? Are you ready? They say no. Why don't we close down all the liquor bars, alcohol and cigarettes and use that money to feed poor people? They are not ready. All sense gratification they don't want to close. But temples, no, we should feed poor people. That's hypocrisy. That's ignorance. They're just foolish sentimental ideas. The temple gives peace, which no movie theater, no restaurant, or no mall, no mall can give. That day I was in temple hall in the evening, it was fully crowded. And one young couple approached me and told, Prabhuji, this temple is so nice. We come here once a month and we feel very, very peaceful. So I asked them, where do you stay? They said, we stay in Borivali. Just 2 of us. And I told them, there are 2,000 people here. right now and you are feeling peaceful. There you are only two in your house. Don't you feel peaceful? They said, no. Why? Because Krishna is in the center. So if you take Krishna in the center of your house, the house will be temple. And you feel peaceful. So in the same way, if Krishna is the center of the city is peaceful. If Krishna is the center of the country is peaceful. If Krishna is center of the planet is peaceful. And if Krishna is center of your life is peaceful. Otherwise, peace is into pieces. Too many pieces scattered around. So the sages and the Vaishnavas, they are worshipping Krishna so that the whole world gets benefit. So after that they come to one holy place, Pindrak. And they are seated there giving audience so that people can come and ask questions, render service. Pariprashnena sevaya. Nowadays we have questions, we go to google.com or chat GPT. But they are not bona fide answers. If you go to wise sadhus, we go to Prabhupada books, we get bona fide answers. So people approach the sages asking questions. So the boys of the Yaduvansh, they devised a game, a prank. Young boys, they are mischievous. They like to play games. And it's okay to play game. But during the play, don't touch fire. You will be burnt. So these young boys, mischievously playing games, they did a mistake of touching fire. They wanted to play games with the sadhus. And what did they devise? They dressed Sam, the son of Jamati and Krishna, in woman clothing and ornaments. He is a boy in a female dress, covering his face and showing pregnant belly, putting ornaments and presenting Samba as a pregnant woman to the sages. It was all a drama. And they were showing themselves to be humble. They went and caught hold of the feet of the sages, as if they are doing a submissive inquiry. And they said, my dear devotees, this beautiful lady, she is pregnant. But she is shy. So that the voice doesn't come out, we are speaking on her behalf. Because voice comes out, it will be grossly understood it's a boy. But she is shy and she has a question. So we are asking on her behalf. She is going to give delivery of the child. She is eager to have a son. And she is anxious to know who is the child, boy or a girl, whom she will deliver. You all are great souls. You definitely know everything. So you please answer. See, first is absurd inquiry is offensive. Pariprashnena sevaya. Approaching a sadhu, the inquiry should be about the progress on the path of self-realization, Krishna consciousness. Should not be an absurd inquiry or an inquiry to challenge or an inquiry to insult, that let me know whether he knows or not. I know whether he knows or not, let me know. So let me ask a question. Or I have a better answer, let me ask, and make him visible in public eyes as fool. Or this is tough one, let me ask, and he will not know, and he'll be embarrassed in public. So any challenging inquiry, any insulting inquiry, any ridicule at the expense of the sadhu is offense. So they approached with an absurd inquiry and they covered their attempt to ridicule with humility. Just like Samba is a boy wearing a female dress, in the same way their attempt to ridicule is wearing a dress of humility. Even that is duplicate, that is wrong. They are not really humble. Not only they covered Samba's boy body with a girl dress, they covered their desire to ridicule with a dress of humility. It's called fake humility. That insincere humility doesn't satisfy anybody. Somebody coming and faking humility and paying obeisances doesn't satisfy anybody. One should be genuine in one's attempts to serve Krishna and devotees. That sincere, genuine desire and attempts would please Krishna, but not fake, pretend. Like somebody wants to kill you, but he pretends to smile. Or somebody wants to give you poison, but pretends to give you in sweet rice. So you think I am getting sweet, but actually it's poisonous. That's what marketing is about today. Marketing shows us the product as if they are our well-wishers and they are benefiting us with the product, but there is some other motive. Lots of products do that. Campaigns. So they covered their insincerity with humility. And they thought these sages will give some answer, boy or girl, and then we will reveal this is not a pregnant woman, this is a boy. And then they will be embarrassed and we will laugh. And we will show them. That's a ridicule, that's an insult. So this kind of behavior is Vaishnava aparadh, offending devotees. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has spoken about it, that the creeper of devotional service, Bhakti Lata, as it grows, it's very tender, soft, and requires protection. Protection from an elephant who can enter a park or a garden and within few seconds destroy the whole garden. So that elephant is Vaishnava aparadh. In a small garden cultivated since 10-20 years, elephant will take 10-20 seconds to destroy. So our bhakti cultivated since so many years can easily be destroyed when we do Vaishnava aparadh. Irrespective of how many years of sadhana we are doing, irrespective of whether it's a big aparadh or a small aparadh, or quote unquote it's a big devotee or a small devotee, senior or junior devotee, if we hurt, if we offend, if we ridicule, if we insult, if we criticize, if we be violent, that's Vaishnava aparadh. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, during his pastimes in Mayapur, Navadip, he gave Krishna prem to anybody and everybody, including dogs, including Jagai Madhai, including demigod worshippers, including smartas, including meat eaters, including atheist people, including sinners, patita pavan. Namo ma vadanaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya namne gaura toshe namaha. Freely he gave Krishna prem. But he didn't give to his own mother Sachi Mata, who is Yashoda Maiya herself. So all the devotees, they were wondering, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has not given this gift of Krishna prem to his own mother? So confidentially they asked Mahaprabhu that why you have not bestowed, why it's being delayed. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said very gravely, because she has done Vaishnava aparadh. They were surprised. Sachi Mata, the mother of the universe. She is mother of Krishna. Whole universe is in the belly of Krishna. She loves all the devotees. She cooks every day for the devotees. Krishna personally eats her cooking. How can she be an offender? Impossible. They asked, whom did she offend? And Chaitanya said, she offended Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya started crying, said, impossible, she has never offended me. Chaitanya said, yes. My brother Vishwarup, he used to closely associate with Advaita Acharya. And he took sannyas. And Sachi Mata didn't like. The elder son took sannyas. She was crying. And she thought that Advaita Acharya is the cause of this. She felt Advaita Acharya is responsible for this because he preached him. And then when I as a small boy used to go to Advaita Acharya's house, because she used to send me to go and call your brother, she used to think, even I will take sannyas because of Advaita Acharya. So she thought negative about Advaita Acharya, she did offense. So unless she begged forgiveness, take the dust of the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya on her head, she cannot get Krishna prem. All the Vaishnavas started crying. How can Mahaprabhu be so hard-hearted? How can he be so cruel? How can he think like this about Sachi Mata? Son takes sannyas and mother is crying. That's normal. That's not aparad to think like that about Advaita Acharya. And Mahaprabhu is giving love to everybody, including Jagai Madai. So this is not a big thing. Jagai Madai did far more sinful activities. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't change his heart. And Advaita Acharya, he thought, this is offense for me to hear that Sachi Mata offended me. This is impossible. Don't talk about this. She cannot offend me. I pay thousands of prostrated obeisances to Sachi Mata. She is my mother. Even though Advaita Acharya is senior in age, but they would respect Sachi Mata as mother of the whole universe. So Advaita Acharya said, I cannot allow her to touch my feet or beg forgiveness or pay obeisances. Impossible. I will die before that. And Sachi Mata heard this. She is crying, crying, crying. The devotees are overwhelmed. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like a rock, nothing doing. She has offended, she cannot get Krishna prema. Just transfer yourself into that situation. It will be so much emotionally surcharged. So one day during Kirtan, everybody was dancing. Advaita Acharya was dancing and jumping and swirling around, and he fell down unconscious with ecstatic symptoms in his body. And Sachi Mata got an opportunity. She touched the feet of Advaita Acharya, who was unconscious, and her offense was mitigated, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave her Krishna prema. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us, we should not offend Vaishnavas. Sometimes devotees around us may be source of some pain for us, but we should not blame them. We should understand it's because of my karma. It is happening, and we should tolerate. We should forgive. It happens. If there are thousands of people in one room, somebody will bump somebody, somebody's feet will touch somebody, somebody's hand will touch somebody, somebody's bag will touch somebody. It happens. So anyway, when we are serving together, something happens. That's normal. Should not take it seriously. Should not keep it in our heart for years together. That last Radha Ashtami, he didn't give me gulab jamun, he gave to everybody. I will not forgive him. We should not keep that in our heart. Or he did this, but he did do this, he didn't welcome me, or whatever it may be. We should just leave it. Let it not occupy our heart. Keep our heart empty. Not keep negative things in our heart about other devotees. Even if they misbehave in our calculation. We deserve much, much worse. But Krishna has arranged a very small pain for us, for our cure. Like doctor gives needle, vaccination, injection, and it pains us. But we say, doctor, thank you very much for the needle. Why? Because you cured me from the infection. So sometimes devotees give injection, that's fine. That cures us. Or some bitter medicine, something goes in our ears which is unpleasant about ourselves. That's fine. Should not take it seriously. We have few years left to go back home, back to Godhead. Why to collect and store such things, unpleasant things, and keep meditating on those and damage our consciousness and our relationships. Don't store all this. Should serve Vaishnavas. Another aparadh they are doing is dressing a boy in a girl's cloth. The very Varnashram is designed so genders have their own roles, responsibilities and identification. And dress has one identification. So dressing a boy in girl's dress is inappropriate, or vice versa, is inappropriate. Nowadays it has become a modern culture. Just like in occupation, if somebody who is not certified to be police and he wears police dress, that would be considered against the law. Right? Somebody who is not doctor and he wears a white coat and stethoscope and roams in the hospital, it will be considered against the law. Somebody who is not a sadhu and he wears saffron dress and roams in the road, it will be considered against the law. In the same way, boy wearing girl dress or girl wearing boy dress is considered against the law of God, Krishna. It may be okay with the country's law in today's modern civilization. So if a girl wears boy's dress, mother will not say anything because at least she is wearing clothes. Otherwise, who knows what will happen? Or vice versa. So in the law of God is much broader than just country laws. But then a biggest aparadh is there's Upper Sampradaya who dress their male disciples as gopis or associate of gopis, that you are in Siddha body, female associate of gopis, so from today you wear sari and you do put ornaments and cosmetics. So there are some Upper Sampradayas where the spiritual master tells a male disciple that you wear female dress because you are associate of gopis. Sakhi Bekar. Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes this at Upper Sampradaya. That is offensive to the gopis. That is not part of any sadhana or any raganuga sadhana. That is not part of any proper process of progressing in pure devotional service. To imagine myself to be associate of gopi or imagine myself to be a peacock in Vrindavan, and not just imagine, behave like that, follow a schedule like that, think whole day like that. That is not a proper way. There is a bona fide process of raganuga where a person meditates internally on a siddha deha and externally continues sadhana. But that is a very elevated process, not given by our acharyas like this. It's very confidential. Rare souls perform. It's not in public domain. But somebody uses that confidential process just to get cheap disciples and make it cheap. That is called sahajiya, cheap. Sahajiya means taking it sahaj, cheap. That is not, we should not get attracted to this. If we come across such speeches or literature or personalities, we should not get attracted even if they have tears in their eyes or hair standing on end or fasting or dancing in the kirtan. We should not get attracted to this. We should continue our practice of sadhana bhakti as given by founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and not get attracted to cheap things in the name of esoteric teachings, in the name of confidential pastimes, in the name of deep Vrindavan realizations, in the name of Vrindavan Leela, in the name of conjugal mellows, in the name of new stories, in the name of Babajis. We should not get attracted. We should stick to Prabhupada books and we'll get fully successful on the path back home, back to Godhead. Everything will be realized in our heart. So this process, or misprocess I would say, unbona fide process of dressing males in female clothing in the name of gopis is not accepted. This pretending to be in ecstatic love by some bodily symptoms of tears and hair standing on end is not accepted. However, a show person does. We follow Srila Prabhupada's path as he has given, morning till evening, we'll get successful in Krishna consciousness. So these boys dressing Samba as a girl, a pregnant woman, and approaching the sages to ridicule them, to make a prank, to tease them, and saying them what is the gender of the child. Because generally ladies, even gents, Matajis and Prabhujis, they want a boy child. So they are anxious. Not because they hate girl child, which is there in modern context, but because the father wants to retire early, take vanaprasth and practice Krishna consciousness. And that's possible when he gets first son, the elder child, as a boy, so that when the boy grows up, he can hand over the responsibilities of the house and go and to pilgrimage places or forest or temples and dhams and serve Krishna. Not because they hate girl child. In India, the test to reveal the gender of a child in the womb is criminal. Nobody can do that test. It's a criminal activity. They do it through sonography. Because they gender bias and prejudice. If they know there's a girl going to be born, they abort, they kill the girl child. Or sometimes they kill the girl child after birth. Or they insult the mother who is bearing a girl child. And they blame her for that. And they don't give facilities pre or after delivery. Because you gave birth to a girl child, you didn't give me my next generation boy child. This is inappropriate. Girl child, both, boy child, both should be considered equal. A boy child is desired so that one can retire, that's all. One can practice Krishna consciousness, but there should not be discrimination. Earlier there will be so many girl childs and they would not worry about it because a girl child hardly has expenses. Earlier girls would not go to school in Gurukul, they will just be at home, and as they grow up, they will help the mother in the house, so they will get a helping hand, and there will be early marriage. Even if they marry at 18, which is allowed nowadays, I think 18 or 21, that's fine. Not much expenses for first 20 years. So it's not, girl child is not a liability, she is Lakshmi. So it's all misconceptions which are spread around in the remote corners of the world. So it's only boy child who can give opportunity to father to retire. Also there is a desire of a son. Big kings would desire a son so that they can retire from the throne, not be on the throne, on the post for whole life. So with this mentality, the boys are approaching the sages to please tell the gender. But the sages are Tikaldarshi. They know what is happening. They know this is a boy in the dress of a woman, and they are upset. They are so upset that they curse. And what is that curse? Stay tuned tomorrow, same time. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments, you may please ask. Yes.
Hare Krishna. I never understood this concept that if you worship Krishna, if you put water in the root of the tree, a whole tree will be. So we are worshipping already in ISKCON. Almost 1500 temples are there all over the world. We are worshipping the root of the tree. But why the world is not happy? People will ask.
Well, there are three things. One is, if a leaf is broken on the street, which means not connected to the root, the leaf doesn't get nourished when you put water to the root. So in the spiritual world, when Krishna is offered a sweet, whole Golok Vrindavan is satisfied. But in the material world, people are not connected to Krishna. For example, Janmashtami night when we have Abhishek, there are 4-5 hours in the queue, people stand. Night 12 o'clock, they have 1 second darshan of Radha Rasbihari's Abhishek and they feel joy, right? Why? They are not on the altar and nobody is pouring on them. Krishna is receiving Abhishek, they are seeing it, they feel joy because they have a connection. If one of us is put on the table and their Abhishek is being done night 12 o'clock, how many people will stand in the queue to watch? Nobody. So those who are connected to Krishna, they feel joy when Krishna is served. Second thing is, because a person is within the three modes, he continues to have distress because of his past papa. So even if there is joy, it is among lots of distress in this material world, fruitive activities and sense gratification. So that joy seems to be lost among traffic of distress, among crowd of distress. And third thing is, whatever happiness is there today is because Krishna is being worshipped. And if we want more, we have to worship more. So today there are some positive things happening, that's because Hare Nam is going on. Otherwise this world would have collapsed. The golden age in between the Kali Yuga would not be there. This Kali Yuga would be more worse today. So many negative things have been stopped, like Mahabharata war. Lots of weapons were thrown on the chariot of Arjuna, but for 18 days Krishna held it. Right? You know that. So Krishna has hold because ISKCON, because temples are there, devotees are worshipping, chanting the holy name. So Krishna has hold the flow of Kali Yuga. Otherwise Kali Yuga would have been more worse than now. One more thing is, if the magnet is there and iron is there, it will get attracted. It's natural. But some iron don't get attracted That is not mistake of the magnet. That's because the iron has rust, ferrous oxide. Rusty iron needs cleaning to get attracted. So because people have lust, so the lust needs cleaning to get attracted to Krishna and be happy. And that cleaning happens Cheto Darpana Marjana by chanting the holy name of Krishna. So when that more and more chanting happens, Harinam happens, cleaning happens, then people will be more happy and attracted to Krishna. Okay?
Srila Prabhupada said, if Krishna consciousness movement is successful, Third World War will not take place.
Right.
Your preaching is successful. Like that. So I have one more question. You spoke about Vaishnava Aparadha and all. Recently I read one commentary where it is said, Lord Varahadev says in Varaha Purana that even if a devotee who is chanting holy names of the Lord, even if he does some mistake, if somebody does ninda of him, I will not forgive him for one kalpa. So, in the present context, the managers of ISKCON, we sit in the room, meeting, and then we discuss, something happens, faults of some devotees, and we give punishment also. What will happen to all of us?
Well, my understanding is the role of a manager or a father or a spiritual master is to correct the people who are dependent. So for the purpose of correction, for the purpose of rectification, for the purpose of protecting other devotees, bhakti, if management has to take some decisions as a well-wisher, that is an acceptable duty. But as an envious or enjoying that discussion or feeling it as an entertainment that maja aa gaya aaj ka agenda mein somebody's faults, or enjoying it, or putting somebody down, or gossiping about it, not giving opportunity to the person to rectify, that would be aparadh. If I am a soldier and my friend is also a soldier and both of us are at the border, and while shooting the enemy, one bullet comes and hits the arm of my friend and he becomes wounded and fractured. So he rushes back to the tent, army hospital, gets the bullet removed and put a plaster, one hand is not active now. And next day morning he comes again to fight and shooting bullet. What should I do? Should I tease him that you are wounded, you got a bullet? Or should I salute him that yesterday you got a bullet and today again you are fighting? Right? Anybody would run away. But today again he is fighting, I should salute him. So in the same way, when we are performing bhakti or preaching, we are fighting with Maya. And sometimes Maya puts a bullet. A devotee may fall down, misbehave, break a regulative principle, perform a sinful activity. And next day again he is at Mangalarati chanting Hare Krishna and fighting with Maya. I should salute a devotee that yesterday you got a bullet wound, today again you are fighting with Maya. I should not tease him or criticize him. I should support him. If he is taking a gun and killing other devotees, spoiling other devotees, that we have to protect other devotees. That is Abhiset Suduracharo. Krishna says he is still a sadhu. Why? Because he is still serving me. A planned fall down where I want to do it again and again, that person is a pretender. He doesn't has opportunity to continue in association of devotees unless he becomes sincere and honest. But accidental fall down or somebody who is again fighting with Maya should be given a chance. How many chances? As many as we want for ourselves. When tomorrow morning the sun rises, Krishna gives one more chance that yesterday you may not have chanted, yesterday you may not have done Mangalati, yesterday you may have broken four regulatory principles, yesterday you may have done something undesirable, today you have a new day, today you do it. Every day Krishna is giving a chance. So as representatives in management, we should give chance to devotees.
Srila Prabhupada said that if a devotee falls down, then if he comes back again, then that is accidental fall down. Then he is apiche sudurachara. I have heard in Andhra they keep saying that Samba is a bad son of Krishna. Is it like that? What? Is it true or?
No, he's a naughty son maybe, not a bad son.
Gaudiya Vaishnavas also they think like that?
No, I never heard that. In fact, one thing Prabhupada mentioned is was very close to his mother.
That's why Samba.
Right,
Samba.
Samba. Another thing is here, Jiva Goswami's, the purport quotes Jiva Goswami saying that Krishna arranged this through Samba to teach us. Like Arjuna was put into illusion, or Parikshit Maharaj pastime was arranged. So this pastime was arranged by Krishna to put into illusion. Otherwise, Samba is associate of Krishna. When Samba used to be a small boy playing in mud, Krishna would so happily pick him up and all the mud and dirty thing would touch Krishna's body and Krishna would not mind. He would pick him up. So yeah. So I never heard that. Okay. I guess we will end here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.